Hello, my friend. So I've been on pause for a few weeks. I had Soul Revolution Festival, so it was really nice after everything that's happened to me. I didn't even think I'd be able to do something like this, but I got a free ticket for that for performing a poem in the closing ceremony. And yeah, it had its struggles because I've got the fatigue and the pain still, but it was lovely to be there with a great group of people. And I'll tell you what, if you wanted to, the guy who actually runs it, Alex Dudgeon, we did an episode of Who on Earth with him. I think that was episode 14 of season 2 if you want to know more about Soul Rev. But it meant that I was a bit knackered and I've had some stuff coming up. So sorry if you've been waiting, or if you only just found out about it. You've not even been waiting at all, have you? But we're going to do day 8. And by this point, I'm definitely using the journal as a way of feeling sane, like I'm talking to somebody with everything that's coming up. It was like this. So I've got a thing here. So you can see I've done a little thing. So I've done it again. So I missed a page for some reason. Let me off, my head and body are fucking burnt. Just so you know, I'm also not had the best sleep last night. But I just felt it was time to read it, and I'm not here to perform it. I'm just here to recount it. So yeah, if I'm not all high energy, well, you've stuck around this long. You've seen days up to 7. I think you're invested now. See what'll happen. Also, this one I think gets a bit long, but again, if you're on day 8 and you're not invested, it gets real interesting. I can say that every time, don't I? So the arrow this time's above the raining clouds. This was Thursday, the 6th of November, 2025. I remember this. Lost my pen, so this pencil will have to do today. That drove me insane. I have this little eye twitching thing where if something's not right, it bothers me. And I just was like, where could the pen be? It's about 5, and I felt I should do a part 1 for today, as it's been very eventful already. The way I felt after the hate episode was uneasy, and it opened up the door for some friends. Fear, aversion, attachment, and craving. And in brackets I've put, good bunch. It's an honour to get to know these parts, but boy is it uncomfortable. You remember all the parts where stuff, if not, go check out the other episodes. So, by this point I decided if I could sit with the discomfort, I will. Fear just kept shouting it's scared as I shook uncontrollably and then went on to name a lot of what it was scared of. As you can imagine, the sensations were terrifying to experience. Full-blown panic attack, nice. It's kind of cool, not cool, wrong word. It's interesting to see me talking about it before knowing what was going on with the sensitized nervous system and the panic attacks. Presence and love really helped to process and release skillfully. It then became apparent that fear kept manifesting to protect us from aversion. It was rampant because lots of averse parts were also rampant. It helps to name them, I find, but not attached to the label. And this introduces us to attachment nicely. Attachment to expectations. I found that suffering, more so the level of suffering we experience, is due to the gap in between our expectation and reality. And the bigger the gap, the more we're going to suffer. But if we expected it, why would we suffer? We already expected it. Attachment to people comforting me, to pleasure, to other comforts, to beauty, to fun, to joy, to who I think I am, to this life, to loved ones, etc. And I'm craving all that so that it balances my aversion sufficiently. So I'm craving it all so that it stops these horrible feelings that are coming up. That's what we do, don't we? We use stuff to try and get away from how we actually feel, which we're averse to. I've let go as best as I can each time the part speaks these things out loud, wanting to be the big hero who is adored by everybody, who is powerful, who always comes out on top. In brackets, I watched a lot of TV and shows, played games and read books and comics. So I had like this, the hero will be the one who's safe because they always come out on top. Look how powerful and magical and amazing they are, and everyone fucking loves the hero. I want to be it, and that sort of It is unconsciously programmed into me. The hero was the epitome of virtue. I wanted to be it, meaning I was not. I chose to let go of this saviour, this messiah complex. I'm learning to love who I am, not what I wish I was. Also, these parts take on a demonic vibe, and it feels like an exorcism as it happens. And this high-pitched ringing is sometimes bothering these parts, but not presence. Interesting. So I've figured out, pretty sure that high-pitched ringing is down to intense tension being created by the neuroplasticity in my mind going awry, and therefore it's creating this high-pitched ringing sound as well. It's not fun, but it's also not the end of the world, and, well, we'll see. So not much sleep, unfortunately. Yeah, that started becoming a problem. It's all very mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausting. But hardship, then ease, hey? Yeah, otherwise it's fucking ease and then hardship, and hey, let's get it out of the way. Side note, I wrote that. I must also be mindful of not falling into, brackets, went to sharpen the pencil. Don't know why I'm losing it. Fall into the trap of doing all this with the expectation that it will make my future easier. To do so creates more expectation, and this can lead to disappointment if not fulfilled. Which it can't, because the mind made it up. Think about it, anything from the future was made up by the mind. It used the past to predict the future. It's not fucking real, so it can never actually be achieved, so you'll always be left wanting. Also felt like, and I do hear myself saying this, that benevolent, angelic-like beings were working on me, helping to purify the body of these negative energies. That's how it felt. That's just how it felt. It felt like I could feel these demonic parts of me and these angelic, and I'm sure it sounds a bit nuts. And I've never really been into that stuff. I went to a church school, I hated religion and all that. But that's how it felt. And I remember being like freaked out, but also comforted by it, and just being like, all right. And the good thing is, the young Mank lad, the meditation teacher, they always keep me grounded and humble no matter how nuts he's getting. I've been kind of been in a psych ward, to be honest, if I hadn't had that side of me. Could be true. Could be my mind reaching for help outside of myself in times of desperation, times of immense discomfort. Got a few Zs, that means sleep, thankfully. I awoke, not at full power, as my friend Liam would say. That's the guy who does full power cacao. I decided a walk through the Misty Mountain would be a nice thing for myself. In The Alchemist, good book by the way, get that if you've not seen it. The King of Solomon says to our hero to look out for omens. And on the walk, I've changed books by this point. We ain't reading that Bhagavad Gita. That got finished when I got back, and a few months actually it took me to actually even open it. And on the walk, my intuition guided me off the gravel path onto a grass path that led me up through the bushes and trees. My mind truly believes that there are bears and wolves out there, and the mist does add an intimidatingly mysterious effect. That was a mouthful. Yeah, man, like with that sensitized nervous system that I've got, the body feels like it's in full survival mode. So the mind tries to fill in the gaps of why would the body feel like this when there's nothing going on. And especially I'm a writer, so it comes up with creative shit. It's like, there's probably bears. And it feels like there's bears. It's so weird. The misty few days represent my mental state perfectly. Actually, the weather seems to mimic my state of being, funnily enough. More sunny and clear days, please. I wrote that in capitals. I came to a fork in the path. Go left, which was steep, misty and scary, or go right, which was level, clear and friendly. This is so me. Hardship, not ease, people. Not for the sake of it, though. I closed my eyes and let my spirit guide me. in brackets, the young Mike really does laugh when it hears me talking this way, but it's bloody true. What could await me? The mind wondered. The bear or wolves? A golden chalice? Maybe a mystical being to tell me I'm the chosen one, and here is how to liberate myself and my brothers and sisters. Another side note, which I also wrote. I believe liberation / moksha is attained through loving presence, the mother and father of all, and we have access to this in every moment, my friend. I don't know who I'm calling my friend. I genuinely felt like I just want to be talking to someone by this point. The truth I discovered was far better. I found nothing. Nothing but an end to the path. Nothing grand, nothing to live up to my delusional ponderings. This was very important, and I shall tell you why. There was peace in the simplicity. It was a need for the greatest stimulation I could imagine that drove those earlier thoughts. Peace is what my heart desires, in brackets, with less attachment each day. Calmness, not madness. Equanimity, not grand deeds and moments. Presence and love, not using something outside of myself to fix everything my parts are averse to. Stimulated to sensation. Sorry, got some in my teeth then. Let me just have some sticky willy. It's on all the streets. Sticky willy, you know those plants? We've already talked about this, I think, but where you throw it on people's backs and get stuck. That's everywhere, man. It's really good for you. It helps to drain the lymph nodes, from what I understand, which is really tertiary. Back to the book. All right. Yeah, not looking for something outside of myself to fix everything my parts are averse to. Content with what I discovered, I made my way back down the mountain. As I neared Michelle, the van if you forgot, Dad, as he sometimes does since he passed, spoke to me. Yeah, I feel like I've already told you. Yeah, of course I did. It was in the last bit, wasn't it? Yeah, so sometimes I just feel him. Sometimes my mind likes to translate it into words. The details are foggy due to my wobbly state, but what set off uncontrollable fits of tears and wails was the revelation that one of the reasons his soul chose to leave his body when it did was so he could be there for me without limitation. So he could help me through all this in ways he didn't know how to when he was alive. I felt my deceased loved ones too, even the fucking cats. Because I don't see the animals as any less as the people, man. Like, why? They got 4 legs, or they fly, or they swim. It's nonsense. Echoed through this sentiment. Absolute fucking legends. Yeah, they are. Those we love would never abandon us, I feel. They are us in many ways. I am my dad's humour and creativity. My granddad's well-natured way of being. My I'll leave this bit for personal reasons, but yeah, my gran something, but I say sorry for swearing. My gran, yeah, she was a legend. My uncle's ingenuity, yeah, you could always fix anything, make anything. And then I decided, back at the van, to do some gentle and yin style stretching. Wow, in capitals. I did not know what it was going to release. Theme here, isn't it? I lay on my meditation cushion, my meditation oblong, that's what it said. My meditation oblong bolster thing I got recommended to from my friend Ursula. I usually call it a meditation sausage. With my feet pressing together, my back at the back of the huge sausage, and my arms at 90% angle. as so instructed, and I lay for some time. Oh, before that actually, I had sat on the bed and reached forward to the ground, which really stretched my lower back to the point it gave that good pain, as Jules says. Hey, Jules. I do feel parts crave for my friend's softness and care a lot in this trip. Because you have been amazing, Jules, so that's why. It released parts who screamed how much this was all unfair. Why did we have to be punished with such adversity? Why do we not just go home and enjoy the comforts? They're literally talking through me, that's how it feels. Like parts of me are just like, fuck this, you know how it is. I'm not the only crazy one, right? Back to the mega sausage. This resentful, weaker, younger part complained even louder this time. It had a full-on meltdown tantrum. I shook a lot when I completed the stretch. I also felt some tightness release around my stomach, followed by strange tummy sounds as air that had been trapped released. Yeah, actually, I don't know if I've already said this, but I believe when we trap something, we trap it because we resist that sensation, aversion. We don't like how it feels, so we stop. Nope, don't like that. But that block stops energy from flowing where it's meant to, and therefore the energy gets trapped in us. But what's moving the energy is the value, the air. So that's why when people finally release stuff, they might burp or fart as well, because it's been stuck in there, the air, with the energy that it was moving. Imagine it's like a door being closed. So the air's got to come as well. It's only my theory, but it makes sense to me. Where are we at? I went into a gentle child's pose, in brackets. I'm really discovering the immense power of softness. Jules is very wise. Yes, she is. Then, oh my days! Something crazy overtook me. So this was really weird. I'm not really into ancestry sort of stuff, but I am now because I fucking experienced it. It was weird as fuck. So I started to feel grief for my dead child. I said it got weird. I've never had a kid. I saw a very young dead boy. Then I felt the grief double for a second dead boy. It's fucking weird, man. Why would I just come up with that? Maybe my conscious is fracturing. I'm open to all points of view, but it felt fucking real. So, now I've heard people talk about processing ancestral trauma. That was dubious. Haven't we all got enough to process as it is? Fucking right. I am not dubious one iota now. This ancestor came through as a heart-wrenching scream of sorrow, completely lost in her loss. Not once did this ancestor lose a boy, but you guessed it, they lost 2 boys. Oh, I wept as her like I've never cried before. It was in comparison even more great than my loss of dad. So yeah, when I was releasing all that dad, this felt more intense. This felt more like, I suppose only somebody who's lost a child could feel. I didn't know you could feel such grief, and that was passing through me. Again, I hear what I'm saying, but that's how it was, and this is me recounting it. And being vulnerable. She begged for her husband to make it better somehow, to no avail. I could literally feel him there. I could feel his presence there, and her just being like, take it away. And I could feel them being like uncertain of what to do. Fucking really weird. I get shivers even, shiver me timbers. I get goosebumps even thinking back about it. Really weird and intense, but kind of beautiful. I held her grief in that moment with presence and love. That which binds us all. I was a mess, but not absent, I have to iterate. I felt closer to this ancestor than ever before. It was an honour to hold for her what she had been unable to do at the time. You could imagine how crushing that'd be. 1 boy and then 2, losing 2 children. I believe that this trauma is passed on until some daft, brave soul takes it on with love. Me in this instance. With my presence, it helped this lost ghost of grief that had echoed through the family to accept what had happened. It was part of the big plan. Bear with me. Oh yeah, I went to write something, then I put, wow, this has just triggered more residual sorrow and wailing in me. Yeah, so even thinking back on it, I've got like echoes of it, like reverberations of it. But yeah, it's weird, man. And it's weird. Nah, I won't say it. It's so good. Oh yeah, so because I think this brought up feelings of like people who had passed as well. So I put, Gran was very prevalent in my upbringing. Her love and care shaped me greatly, as well as her intelligence, courage, and strength. Sorry, Gran. Sorry again, Gran, but you are an absolute fucking badass. So again, sorry, Gran, for swearing, but she's in another world. I'd never mess with her. Gran would kick your head in. She was a little fire. Tiny, like a hobbit, but she'd do you in. Don't mess with Gran. Oh yeah, and then that ancestor, bless her, she realised that it was me that was processing it for her, or for us really. It's weird. And she started to apologise immediately when the loss had been let go. I could feel this fog disappear from the being, and all of a sudden that ghost was at peace again. I'm hearing myself say this. I'm going to stop saying that. Look, I think I'm crazy and I don't really care. And then all of a sudden they were them again. I could feel how calm and like they were like, oh, it's gone. Almost like the flood of emotion that had been stuck was just gone, and they could be the balanced version of themselves again. But then I remember telling her in my head, like, it's been my honour, and I'd do it a million more times if I had to. Something in me just wants to do that for people. Like, I just feel struggling. I'm happy to hold it with you. I want you to struggle on your own. She thanked me and told me to rest up and make myself a cup of tea. Very English. And I felt her say, grab a biscuit as well. Yeah. I remember back in the day, me and my cousin always thought that chocolate digestive biscuits were called Grandad biscuits. Granad is how I used to call it, because that's what they called it. And it only dawned on me when I was older that chocolate digestives are what they're called. So when I asked the store where the Grandad biscuits were, they were like, what? Bring back Grandad biscuits. Great tip, by the way, for those chocolate digestives, which should be called Grandad biscuits, keep them in the fridge. Keep them in the fridge, like a jar. You'll see, my friend. All right. So she also laughed and said, I told you. Whatever. We'll leave that bit. This is not for me, but anyway. Basically, my gran, who I'd just been talking about a moment ago, I don't know, it's getting a bit mixed up, so that's why I'm trying not to get it too mixed up. She always told me that I liked bananas. And then I remember, just because obviously I've had my gran coming through, she at some point, grandma said, like, I told you like bananas, because I convinced myself I didn't like bananas because of the mushy taste. Turns out I do. I quite like bananas. I have one a day now. I just wouldn't have it at all, though. Just something about the texture. But then on my first like Vipassana, so it's like that's like a 10-day silent meditation retreat that you do, and you learn the Vipassana technique. Really powerful. Don't worry about them psychedelics, man. You go to sit with yourself for 10 days. As you're finding out. But this is in silence and just... Anyway, I discovered she was in fact right, as always. All right, so then this ancestor that... We'll go back to the ancestor. This ancestor was gone. That part of it's free to let go now that it had been felt with loving presence. As you can probably imagine, I was quite shook up after that. So, I did just that. I went for a shaky walk for 10 minutes. Oh, and before I forget, because today didn't have enough bloody drama, I told my mum I'd let her know I was okay every 7 days. You know how mums get. So I did just that. As you can surely understand, the little boy parts have been properly craving their mum through all of this. Brackets, Jules has that same calming effect on me of helping to make me feel safe and held with love, which is why I believe I've been craving to see her so badly. 2, letting the little boy parts go, man. Gotta let them go. Gotta let them go and have fun. They're not meant to be dealing with this sort of stuff. Leave that for the adults. No shock. It's mainly been those 2 people I've been wanting to run to. Really, is it? Nothing beats that loving embrace of a lovely and caring woman this is what I found anyway. There's just something about the loving embrace of the feminine in there. Well, I saw Mum had messaged me to check in and that she was wishing me well. Oh boy. Did she not know how much it helped to see that message? Again, I broke down in tears of gratitude that she exists in my life. I'll never take her love for granted again. Naughtily, I also replied to Jules' message with the yoga tips too. I felt she should know how much she's helped and how brilliant I think she is. Oh, and the last thing for part 1. It's only part 1. Lord help me. That's what it says. On my way down the mountain earlier, the mist over the trees below looked stunning, so I convinced myself to take a photo, as I'd taken my phone in case of emergency. Don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater now, do we, eh? But I caught this, ingrained habit and thought better. It would take me out of the moment and be all about showing off to others instead. Some things should just be for us, I feel. Wouldn't you agree? Well, that was part 1 of the 7th day. Only bloody 33 more to go. Don't worry, mate. That turns into months and months and months, but they were in the forest at least. I can hear the high-pitched ringing getting louder and shakes are coming as the next release builds. Wish me luck. How long was part 2? How far are we going? Part 2 ain't that long. We're going to give you part 2 as well. Yeah, man, fuck it. In for a penny. Since part 1, it's been difficult and liberating at the same time. I'm just going to have a sticky willy break. I told you the next release was building, and boy, it came big time. For the last 4 hours plus, I've been processing a lot. It's still in full swing as I write, but I wanted to update before it got too late. I clearly have a lot of blocked energy now, and the parts want to let go. Fear turned up again when the guttural scream started once more. So much buried treasure. So much buried terror. A little boy started speaking, very young me, saying how he should never have been left alone to deal with such horrors. That it should be up to the big boys, meaning the older versions of me. We're letting all these parts be, but with a presence in the middle. Be the middle man, the middle way. One moment, that's mad. Oh, so I've done one moment, ... That's mad. There's so much energy being released from me right now that it's literally making steam come off loads. Yeah, I could see the steam coming off my hand. Like, that's how much energy was being released in me. Like that wasn't me going nuts. I could fucking see it. And I was steaming just from how hot I was getting. Crazy remembering back. Like when you breathe out cold air, but like off my hand, loads. It was quite sweet and heartbreaking to hear the pure and innocent voice coming from that part of me. Then fear as an entity came. It sounded demonic, but under presence also a bit comical. That's the thing, these scary parts of us that have tormented us for how long, the little what if skis. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if that? When you actually just pay attention with the presence, which doesn't need to fear anything, it was never born, can never die, it's never going to be destroyed, it's just presence. That's why you don't feel your age, your body is, you're not, you're this eternal presence. So, it just kind of seems a bit funny when you really just watch stuff calmly. It threatened to keep the boy suffering so that it could feed off the fear. Then an older version of me was like, you can fuck right off. Leave him be and pick on us. So you can hear that fractured mind, right? Then realised better to leave it to presence rather than start a war. Then fear panicked, threatening to kill the host, me. But the counter-argument was killing the host is pointless, as then it couldn't feed anyway. You know, what with me, I'll out-logic you. No answer for that. It writhed and screamed as presence and love obliterated bits of it. It screamed, how could you leave me to become this monster? It didn't want to be this. It didn't want to cause such misery to countless beings. It wished it didn't feed off fear. It felt awful. It hated itself. So these are all parts of me just, well, it's a universal energy frequency, or like shame or fear or anger, but you uniquely process it in the way you do. And I think those energy frequencies, well, we're all feeling it. It's one frequency in it. So we're feeling it. And this is just how it's manifesting in my mind at this moment, which is weird. But kind of not. Kind of makes sense to me as well. I don't know if it makes sense to you. Let me know in the comments. Then through more presence and love, it changed. It started asking why it existed. It just never got this presence and love before. It said if I could do this for it, so it could be free, I was no boy. I must be a master. Not sure about that. Somewhere in the middle, perhaps. It realised itself. It was trying to protect me from aversion. Then aversion shouted to shut up, you cunt, in capitals. It was only averse because we were scared of pain and discomfort. One seemed to feed the other. Aversion wanted to strangle me. It even got my hand over my throat, but alas, not going to happen, and I moved the hand. Yeah, man. Deep. The fear earlier, by the way, said that one of my biggest fears was that this overwhelming or most overwhelming things would not end, and I'd be uncomfortable forever. Or that it would destroy me or send me crazy. Back to aversion. It said it exists to keep us safe, that we pay attention to what we do not like, which can cause harm to the vessel, and the spirit can't experience this realm without it. I said we can pay attention now without fear and aversion. In brackets, still a work in progress for sure. This moment is quite overwhelming, it's hard to concentrate. It was a beautiful moment. They, in their own way, looking out for us. I then spent some time being quite calm and present with it all. Stuff came up about us being villainous, being in previous life, being villainous in previous lives, things I felt guilty about, things I felt shameful of. And then I thought, I've only eaten an apple and a banana all day, so let's have a chili. Hard to eat with all this going on, to be honest, and the part just wanting a rest was coming up more. I can't quite shake the something fear that this will never end and it will be too much, and all I know is it's going to be felt with presence and love. That's it, man. Don't fucking complicate shit. Presence and love is the answer. Keep it simple. That's what I'm going to choose to do, and hopefully it's merciful at some point and I can get a bit of sleep. So that was a longer one than usual. I told you we get like that. The last few ones are going to be like that now. Thanks for staying till the end. Feeling quite drained already from today, and I've still got the desensitization of the nervous system, which I'm doing, lack of sleep, and then chronic pain and chronic fatigue. And today's just been harder than usual. The last few days have been a bit more difficult than usual, but I'm here for it, man. You gotta go through it. Can't go up, can't go down, we gotta go through. So I hope maybe that gives you some insights. Maybe you got some stuff out of it that you would found helpful. Do feel free to put it in the comments. I'm always here. I love community. Something I didn't have a big thing that I thought I needed for a long time, and now I realise how important it is that we're all in this together. But yeah, man, you're going to get your last day tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week I'll do it. Do the last day, day 9, and then I think I'll give you a day 10, which gives you an update on everything. So we'll call it, well, that's the summary, where we are now, whatever. I'm not on form today. So we'll get previous me to tell you a bit about the amazing Dream Healer and the ether spray, the Agua de Florida. If you want to support local business and get some healthy products that can help you with the dream world and help you smell nice, demystify, like the Misty Mountain we just went through. Otherwise, guys, I'm going to enjoy my Sticky Willy. We're going to have a bit of normality. I'm going to watch England in the last friendly before the World Cup, because football stops me from going too nuts. At least it's here and normal. I'm only messing. You got to go a bit insane sometimes. But thank you anyway. Appreciate you staying, and yeah, much love. Alright, so I said I'd tell you a little bit about you for herbals, eh? So, the Dream Healer. It's cool, this one. So this one, if you know, you know. We've got the blue lotus flower, which the Egyptians used to love. Lucid dreaming, it also calms the nervous system. You've got mugwort from this land, England, if you're watching from abroad. Bobinsana bark from Peru, and then rose petals to give it a bit of a gentle vibe. And then Bobby the Forager. Absolute genius. Imagine Walter White from Breaking Bad, but he's gone into the wellness community instead. And he says we don't put no poison with our medicine, and he's absolutely right. So we use apple cider vinegar, organic apple cider vinegar, and then a little bit of agave. And you have this before you go to sleep. And you like lucid, vivid, restful sleeps. And if you work with it for a while, because some people aren't sensitive to it straight away, it gets real interesting. So yeah, the Dream Healer, if you want to get onto that, it's on the Meditation with Michael store. I'll put a little link for you. And then we've got the Agua de Florida spray. Yeah, man. Again, no poisons, so no alcohol is in this. It's all organic, like witch hazel rather than alcohol and such, and water. And then he's made, Bobby again, Agua de Florida ether spray. So we've got the ether drop, the ether spray. Well, I mean, I can't make you smell it through the camera, can I now? So I'll take my word for it, but it's nice. So if you want one of these, feel free to go down to the store, and we'll sort you right out. You'll be helping out a local business with local people. And you can go into the dream world, which you spend 8 hours a day if you're lucky doing, and then get your aura all nice and cleansed. Alrighty, till next time, peace and love.